Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, the Other. Today I'm going to be discussing the origins of Santa Claus. There is a lot of history, but I want to mainly focus on the origins of how Santa Claus evolved. And I got a little bit of information off of the internet, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. There are three names for Santa Claus, three popular names: Father Christmas, Saint Nicholas, and Sinterklaas of Belgium. A little bit about Father Christmas. He dates back as far as the 16th century in England during the reign of Henry VIII, when he was pictured as a large man in green or scarlet robes lined with fur. He typified the spirit of good cheer at Christmas, bringing peace, joy, good food, and wine and revelry. As England then no longer kept the feast day of St. Nicholas on December 6th, the Father Christmas celebration was moved to the 25th of December to coincide with Christmas Day. The Victorian revival Christmas included Father Christmas as the emblem of good cheer. His physical appearance was viable, with one famous image being John Leech's illustration of the ghost of Christmas present in Charles Dickens' festive classic A Christmas Carol, 1843, as a great genial man in a green coat lined with fur, who takes Scrooge through the bustling streets of London on the current Christmas morning, sprinkling the essence of Christmas onto the happy populace. Father Christmas is now widely seen as synonymous with the Santa Claus figure. And here's the image of Father Christmas. Little information on Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas of Myra was a 4th century Greek Christian bishop of Myra in Lycia, a province of the Byzantine Empire, now in Turkey. Nicholas was famous for his generous gifts to the poor, in particular presenting the 3 impoverished daughters of a pious Christian with dowry so that they would not have to become prostitutes. He was very religious from an early age and devoted his life entirely to Christianity. Continental Europe, he is usually portrayed as a bearded bishop in canonical robes. The remains of St. Nicholas are in Italy. In 1087, the Italian city of Bari mounted an expedition to locate the tomb of the saint. The reliquary of St. Nicholas was conquered by Italian sailors, and his relics were taken to Bari, where they are kept to this day. A basilica was constructed the same year to store the loot, and the area became a pilgrimage site for the devout. Sailors from Bari collected just half of Nicholas's skeleton, leaving all the minor fragments in the grave. These were collected by Venetian sailors during the First Crusade and taken to Venice, where a church to St. Nicholas, the patron of sailors, was built on the San Nicolo a Lido. This tradition was confirmed in 2 important scientific investigations of the relics of Bari and Venice, which revealed that the relics in the 2 Italian cities belonged to the same skeleton. St. Nicholas was later claimed as a patron saint of many diverse groups, from archers, sailors, and children to pawnbrokers. He is also the patron saint of both Amsterdam and Moscow. During the Middle Ages, often the evening before the name of day of 6th of December, children were bestowed with gifts of honor. This date was earlier than the original date of gifts for the children, which moved in the course of the Reformation and its opposition to the veneration of saints in many countries on the 24th and 25th of December. So St. Nicholas changed to Santa Claus. The custom of giving gifts to children at Christmas has been propagated by Martin Luther as an alternative to the previous very popular gift custom of St. Nicholas to focus the interest of the children to Christ instead of the veneration of saints. Martin Luther first suggested the Christ kind as a bringer of gifts, but Nicholas remained popular as gifts bearer for the people. 13th century depiction of St. Nicholas right here. And lastly, a little bit on Sinterklaas. In the Netherlands and the Belgium, the character of Santa Claus has to compete with that of Sinterklaas. Santa's presumed progenitor, Santa Claus, is known as De Kerstman in Dutch, the Christmas man, and Père Noël, Father Christmas in French. But for children in the Netherlands, Sinterklaas remains the predominant gift giver. In December, 36% of the Dutch only give presents on Sinterklaas Day, whereas Christmas is used by another 21% to give presents. Some 26% of the Dutch population gives presents on both days. In Belgium, Sinterklaas Day presents and offered exclusively to children, whereas on Christmas Day, all ages may receive presents. Sinterklaas's assistants are called Zwarte Pieten in Dutch, Paris, Foltard in French, so they are not elves. The origins, pre-modern representations of the gift giver from the church history and folklore, notably Saint Nicholas, known in Dutch as Sinterklaas, merged with the English character Father Christmas to create the character known to the Americans and the rest of the English-speaking world as Santa Claus, a phonetic derivation of Sinterklaas. In the English and later British colonies of North America and later in the United States, British and Dutch versions of the gift giver merged further. For example, in Washington Irving's History of New York, 1809, Sinterklaas was Americanized into Santa Claus, a name first used in the American press in 1773, but lost his bishop's apparel and was at first pictured as a thick-bellied Dutch sailor with a pipe and a green winter coat. Irving's book was a lampoon of the Dutch culture of New York, and much of this portrait in his joking invention. Here's actually a picture of Sinterklaas right here. And I do remember as a kid going to Sears and probably Montgomery Ward in Huntsville, Alabama, and seeing Santa Claus as a little kid. And I actually on Christmas Day do Santa Claus for the children of the Indonesian community, because my wife is from Indonesia, and so I do Santa Claus once a year for the kids, and haven't gotten my invite yet. Hopefully I'll be invited to do it again this year. And I want to wish all of my viewers Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and hopefully 2017 will be a good prosperous year for everyone, all of my viewers. And like I said, I want to continue to build up this list of subscribers, and I'm looking for suggestions on how I can improve this show. I have gotten a few suggestions already from some people on what I can do. One of the suggestions was add more music, which I've done on this one. I don't really have the know-how to do all this editing and stuff. My videos are basically just I turn on the camera and record them, and what you see is what's there basically. I'm still on the quest to find a partner to do the show with me. I've talked to some people. A lot of it has to do with availabilities. My plan is basically meet with somebody, shoot about 10 shows, 20 shows at one setting, whatever. These shows are basically 5-10 minutes, depending on what the subject is, and I want to get that, hopefully get that taken care of in 2017. Maybe get a regular partner to add more ideas, more perspectives on what I discuss. And as always, have a safe and happy Christmas, and if you must drink, do not drive. Have a designated driver. And as always, thanks for watching.